Hey guys, Jason here. I just wanted to do a quick maybe review of the Nintendo Switch console. It's been out for a little over a week and I've had a chance to play with it and to kind of put it through its paces. So I wanted to do just a kind of a quick walkthrough of what we have here and then also kind of give my thoughts on it, at least up until this point. Alright, so this is the Nintendo Switch. These are all of the different parts you have. You've got the actual Switch console, which is kind of like a glorified small, maybe 7-inch tablet with Joy-Cons on each side. Joy-Cons are the new controllers for the Nintendo Switch, and these will actually come apart. Then also included in just your basic Switch package is going to be the controller. So what you can do is you can take the Joy-Cons out, I'll show you here in a second, and you can actually add those into this controller and basically play it like you would a normal controller. Then you've got the Switch dock. This is what connects to the TV, and basically the Switch slides right down in there, and then on the back you can open this up, and as you can see you have options for the AC adapter, USB, and then your HDMI out. This nice little window is cool, or little door is cool, because you can kind of run your cables out and kind of hide them in the back. And then I also picked up a copy of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We'll talk about that here in a second. And then here's your Switch packaging. Also in the box, what I did not have out is going to be the two, basically these are little accessories that you can snap into the Joy-Cons. It gives you a wrist strap, it extends it out a little bit, gives you a battery indicator right there, and then gives you left and right buttons on the top there. So that's something else, that comes in the packaging as well. So first off, setting up the Switch is pretty simple. There wasn't really much to it. As you can see, those are all of your parts there, so it's pretty much just putting in your power connector and your HDMI out cable into the TV. And then after that, basically you can just slide your Switch right in there. There have been some cases, I guess, of people complaining about the Switch screen scratching when you slide it in and out. I've not yet seen that myself, although I am pretty careful when I take it in and out. Typically, if you just line up the Switch with the dock and keep the Joy-Cons kind of on the outside, then you should be fine. The Switch basically just connects via USB Type-C in the dock there, and if you look down inside of the dock, you can see there's your USB Type-C connector. Now, as far as the console itself, the console is this tablet right here. So the entire thing is in the tablet. This is really just a dock that allows you to connect it HDMI out to your TV. Now, the screen on this thing is a touchscreen, and it's a 720p for the resolution. The resolution when you actually output it to the television is going to be 1080p. Zelda actually outputs to 900p, I believe. So it is touchscreen. The screen is very nice. So I was surprised for being just 720p. I was surprised at just how good the screen was in this particular case. So the screen was actually really good. I don't have any complaints about it being 720p. Now around back is going to be your kickstand, and underneath your kickstand you've got a micro SD card for expandable storage. The Switch right now only comes with 32 gigs. On the back on the Joy-Cons, if you just press these little buttons and lift up, that'll allow you to take the Joy-Cons out. So the Joy-Cons are actually pretty cool. They're basically tiny little controllers that can be moved around and changed up to, have different ways of playing. So as you saw, you can stick the Joy-Cons in the Nintendo Switch tablet itself, or you can just connect them into this little controller accessory. And you see they have a nice firm click in there. The joysticks, very good. The buttons are very good. Now this is smaller than your normal controller, so let me get a normal Xbox controller and we can kind of compare it. All right, so you can see side by side, the Switch controller is going to be a little bit smaller in the hand. your button placement is going to be a little bit further apart on the Xbox controller. It did feel a little bit weird to begin with, but honestly, as I got playing with it, I just kind of got accustomed to it. And honestly, I think this feels fine. I did not buy the Pro controller because I'm not spending $80 on an extra controller like that, and I just don't think it's worth it. Maybe if you have really huge hands, it might be worth it for you, but for me, it wasn't worth it to pop for the extra Pro controller. I just didn't see the value there. But yeah, so these are your Joy-Cons. Like I said, you can just pull them in and out. You can also just play them in your hands like this. And so you have really 3 ways of playing the Switch. You can either pop these in and play it kind of on the go mobile. You can just play it like this, where you just got your controllers in hand and you can play it kind of sitting on the table. Or you can hook it up to your TV by putting it in the dock and play it like that. So I really like the 3 different ways of playing it. Honestly, I find myself playing with it on the TV and in kind of mobile tablet mode like this more often than anything. So these are really the ways that I've kind of been using the console. As far as the software itself, it's really basic. I mean, we're just looking at a very basic piece of software here. Really, it's just a screen with your one line of your games on it. As you can see, I only have one right now. You've got a few different settings down here. You've got news, you've got your eShop from Nintendo, you've got an album, controllers, your settings, and your power. As you can see, you have the time, your Wi-Fi connectivity, and your battery indicator up at the top there. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to jump in and out of games. It pretty much saves your state, so you can get right back to gaming whenever you want. All right. You've got your home button down here, and then over here on the left-hand side is going to be a button to allow you to take pictures. That is pretty much the Switch. What are my thoughts on it? At this point, I actually really like the Switch. I think it's a really cool idea. I like what Nintendo's doing here. My main issue would be really the software on the Switch right now is so basic. They really need to get apps and things like that in there. We really need apps like Netflix and Hulu and all that kind of stuff. I know we have a million devices with those apps on it, but to survive in this market, they're just going to have to get those type of apps on the store. Also, games. It's like a barren wasteland on the Switch right now. There are very few games, and the ones that are out aren't very good. Really, the only AAA title is going to be the Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about next. So Zelda Breath of the Wild is really the main reason to buy the Switch right now. If you're not really into Zelda games all that much, not into open world games where you walk around and look for stuff a lot, then I would say don't go out and get the Switch right now if you can find one. I would hold off. They're probably going to bundle some games in later on, and it'll be cheaper. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe comes out next month. If you like Mario Kart, I'd probably wait until they get that game. So right now you really have Zelda, you've got a Bomberman game, you've got a few other games, but really it's really barren right now. So Zelda is a pretty cool game. And let me take pop the cartridge out here real quick so you can see. That is the Zelda cartridge. See how tiny it is? Right, and it actually it's been coated with a certain nasty flavor to keep, I guess, kids from swallowing it or even chewing on it, which is a cool idea. But those are the cartridges, really tiny. You got to be careful. You don't want to lose those. These things are pretty expensive. But as far as the game goes, Zelda, I think it's a very solid game. I think if you're familiar with games like, the new Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain, games like that where you have a huge, expansive open world, this is going to be a similar type of game. There's a linear mission that you can go on and just go straight through the game and beat it, or you have all these different side quests, but you can choose how you want to do the game, what order you want to do the game in a lot of areas, and if you just want to kind of go straight through or kind of meander and do all the little side quests. So it is a very good game. It's a very good looking game, even at 720p on the tablet especially. And then when you hook it up, it's a very nice game. I like the cel-shaded graphics that they're using. My one complaint is that it is kind of slow. It takes a long time to get used to. You have to put a lot of hours into this game to get anything out of it. So if you don't have that kind of time, I wouldn't bother, but you really need to put a lot of time into it. And then my other complaint would be the side missions really don't do much for the game. They really are just kind of there, it seems, almost like filler. I don't think the side missions add that much to the game. You don't get rewarded as much. But generally speaking, I do like the game. I think it is a good game. Probably one of the better Zelda games in my opinion, and we'll have to do a deeper dive a little bit later on it. But I really do like the Zelda game. If you're into Zelda and like those type of games, I would definitely say get the Switch. If you're not into those type of games, I'd say probably hold off and wait for something else to come along. Right now, the Switch retails for about $299.99. You know, for just the basic package here. You can get other versions from GameStop and things like that for more money. So if you ask me, is it worth buying? Is the Nintendo Switch worth buying? For me, I would say yes. Like I said, it really is all up to if you like Zelda or not, or if you like any of the games that are on the eShop right now. If not, I would hold off, you know, save your money. Maybe take a look at it a little bit later when they get more games out. But that has been just a quick look at the Nintendo Switch. Feel free to post any comments if you have any questions or anything like that down below. And thanks for watching.